Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I am Jason, your host. I want to talk about Trevor. Now this has all come to pass. I still am quite conflicted about Trevor. I don't hate him. Trevor did some amazing things. And I've been going through some of the paperwork and quick summary. My mum and Trevor got together when she moved down here. He owned the house next door, she owned this one. They got together. Trevor took my mum to Scotland, to America. William will always appreciate that she got to go to those places. Her dementia didn't start till after all this. But they were never anything more than basically boyfriend and girlfriend. I know at that age you shouldn't really meant, but that's what they were. And he did love her. I know he loved her. And he also, right at the start, looked out for me and for Paola. These are the positive. These things he did. I was witness to them. They were not fakes. These were real. He even changed his car so it was more comfortable for Paola to ride in to get to our appointments. He took us to every appointment we ever had at the hospital. I think there's something bad that, unfortunately, Trevor was the kind of person who would never ask for help. It was always I'm okay. No matter what was going on, you couldn't get him to talk about anything that was bothering him. He was a farmer. He lived his life working. He was an amazing guy. And then something changed. Now, a lot of what I say now is conjecture. Some of it I did witness myself, but a lot of it is conjecture. I will never know whether it was him, his new partner that he had after my mum went into dementia, because one of the things that I made sure was that because he had looked after my mum, and yes, he looked after my mum really well with me in this house. The last time I would come in and help, but Trevor did amazingly looking after me. He changed diapers for my mum when she got to the stage of having the dementia so bad. He did everything he could while my mum was here. But I think that when my mum went into a home, that hit him hard. I was already a carer for 20 years looking after Paola. I knew what it felt like. He didn't. So no matter how many times I tried to talk to him about it, he always felt guilty, and that was a big thing against him. He felt that he hadn't done enough, even though we did amazingly look after my mum for as long as we did at home. And he pretty much adopted Paola. He did. He doted on her. He would do anything for Paola. And when she died, that hit him hard. And his own mother dying hit him hard. And this is why it's so important for people to talk and to see a healthcare professional, a mental health professional, and try to solve, because this kind of knocks do not go away. They don't. And so I think that so much happened to Trevor, and that he was influenced by his new girlfriend as well. And this caused him to go on a downward spiral. Now, I never knew any of the bad stuff was happening. Trevor was very much putting what I saw for myself, what I witnessed as myself, was me and him talking over the fence every day, and him always asking me how I was. And if I needed anything, he knew I was struggling financially. He knew I was struggling thinking. And he always said that I've got lots of money. I always would say every single freaking day, I have lots of money up in Stafford, and if you need anything, then I'll give you the money, and then when Mum passes away, you can give it back to me out of her money. So, in some ways, did I enable him? Because I did take gifts of money. Well, they weren't gifts, they were loans that I would have paid back when Mum passed away. But little did I know that what I know as a fact is correlating all the dates with the police and the bank and everything, that every single bit of money he ever gave me wasn't from his own money. It was from my mum's money. And every time he went to get out money for me, he always got out double or triple or 3 times more or 10 times more than he was giving me. I don't think this in no way I don't think was deceptive. I don't think he was an evil person. I don't think it was a long hustle. I don't think it was anything like that. I think his links with reality had fractured. I think he had seen so much harm with the death of Paola that he didn't want to live in a world where there were consequences and things, and he created a new world where he could help everyone. He lied to me. He told me he was talking to his family every weekend. I had no idea that he wasn't. He told me, though, he was paying bills, that he wasn't. The lies over the fence were so believable because I had no reason not to trust. This is the guy who took me to every mental health appointment. When I was in hospital for my bowel cancer, he was the one who was there and looked after the house. For years, because I couldn't leave the house, he was the one who put money into my bank for me. He had my debit card for over 2 years. If he had been wanting to fuck things up or anything, he could have, but he didn't for me. He always put the money in and everything that he said, he always did. And I had complete trust in him. When I walked into the house the day he died and saw the destruction and saw all of my mum's paperwork and everything thrown on the ground or destroyed and went through all that, it was a complete dissonance between that and who he had been to me in a very real sense, and to Paola. So I don't hate Trevor in any way, shape, or form. I feel guilty that I couldn't get him help. I feel guilty that I didn't see the signs. After he passed away, we found that late at night he would be shredding and burning files. We found lots of bags of burnt and shredded files in the sheds and that. I missed everything. I missed it all. Maybe I could have helped him. Maybe I could have got him some help and taken back the power of attorney or stopped the pathway he was going towards if I had seen. I have all the excuses in the world. Paola died. I was suffering from grief. My ADHD, my autism and everything was coming down on me, and I was trying to create new survival coping strategies. But part of me will always think that if I had been more aware, if I had the reason I never came to this house was this. The reason I never came to this house was because right at the start, after my mum went to home, we decided together that because he had spent like 5-6 years with my mum in this house, he had memories with my mum. And I'd been in the house next door with Paola before she died. So we just made the reasonable thing that when Mum passed away, we would just swap deeds. I would have that house, he would have this one. We knew that my mum was leaving this house for me, and So that was the plan. That was, as far as I'm concerned. He always told me he's told his children, but obviously he never did tell his children that. Don't know why, but he never did. So I respected his privacy in this house. I never even came into the backyard because once we used to have the fence used to be removed between us here when my mum was here, so she could wander in between and out. When her dementia wasn't too bad, but she could wander between two gardens and she could come in anywhere she wanted, and the dogs could be with my mum and everything. It was brilliant. But once he got together with his new partner, she used to leave the door open and things like that, and I was concerned that the dogs would wander too. So that's the reason the fence went back up. And after that point, when he got together with a new person, I never, ever came in this house. Actually, that might be sorry, my apology, that's a mistake. I think I visited twice or three times when his children were here and came to visit. Yeah, but I think we only stepped into here. And the thing is, I found out later that every time they would visit, he would drag any rubbish in that upstairs and throw it in the back bedroom and shut the back bedroom. He once said to me that he was angry that they hadn't given me more time to clean up before they arrived. And I just assumed that was just, hey, people like to have a bit of pride in their house, so they want to clean up their house before someone else arrives. But that's the only times I ever visited this house now. And I never went past the very autism and that. I didn't want to go into another house. But part of me will always think that maybe if I hadn't been so focused on my coping strategies, maybe I would have seen something. Maybe I could have done something. I will never know whether it was him or his partner in whole, or whether they influenced, or whether they did. I found out a lot afterwards I won't go into, but I don't. Trevor was very good for my mum. Trevor allowed my mum to visit my mum never went on holiday. Since my dad died, my mum never, ever went on holiday. She never wanted to go on holiday, never wanted to leave the thing. She always wanted to spend time with me and with Paola and do stuff with us. And we had to actually buy her stuff to get her to buy stuff and that. I remember when we figured out that she liked Burberry, and whenever we knew she was coming down, I'd go on eBay and set up the page on the big screen, because I had it hooked into the big screen, I think, so on the Burberry search. So my mum could so when she came in, she could start looking through all the different stuff. This backfired on us because it got to the point where my mum would specifically come up to look through Burberry. That's when I built her a computer. But I just wish I had seen the signs. I wish I had known the lies. Maybe before we went down the dark path, I could have made changes to him. Because he did so much good for Paola, and so much good for me, and so much good for my mum. I was so grateful to him when he took my mum to America, and that. My mum got to go to America and that. So yeah, I will always be conflicted, but I don't blame him in any way. I think that a human being can only take so much. What I take out of this is, I am so glad that I have all my coping strategies and that I make sure that I keep connected, talk, that I'm there. Because it's so easy to miss things. I am so lucky that I have so many friends looking out for me, and I'm so lucky that I have a therapist. I have this therapist. I can talk. Even if though it's sometimes I'm saying too much. I can talk like this and use this as my therapy. But what about all those people that can't? What about all those people where it has to stay up here in your echo chamber and go round and round and round? What about those people? So this is Jason for the Clever Channel. I'm going to go back upstairs now and sort through some more of the mess because it's still like going through even after so many years. I've gone through this stuff so many times, but there is so much trash, so much paperwork that got destroyed before I came on the scene. It's like forensically trying to go back in the years of what my mum had and everything. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So this is Jason for the Clever Channel. Bye bye.